Welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you're running Google Ads for an Aussie business, you've definitely felt it, right? The whole game has changed. So today we're going to decode this new AI-driven world. We're going way beyond just talking about clicks and bids to show you how you can actually master this thing.
So, we're going to take a journey through 5 key areas. We'll start with the big picture mindset shift and take it all the way to a practical, proactive workflow. Seriously, by the end of this, you'll have a game plan to stop just, pulling levers and start really steering the whole strategy. Okay, first up, let's dive into the single biggest change, and that's your role. See, in this new world of Google Ads, you're not really a hands-on operator anymore. Nope, you're the strategic director. And this quote, this just nails it. It really gets to the heart of this whole new paradigm. I mean, think about it. The days of sitting there, endlessly tweaking every single keyword bid, they're over, gone. Your value isn't in that low-level tinkering anymore. It's all about providing that high-level strategic direction. Okay, so what does that actually mean in practice? Well, your job is basically flipped. Instead of tweaking those little keyword bids all day, your job is now to feed the AI. You're giving it high-quality data, you're telling it the clear business goals, and you're setting up some sensible guardrails. It's like this. You're the coach, and the AI, that's your star player. All right, so let's keep building on that idea. Because before you can direct your star player, the AI, you got to feed it the right fuel. And that fuel, it's all about high-fidelity, top-quality data. So the first super practical step you have to take, you've got to link Google Analytics 4, GA4, with your Google Ads account. This is absolutely non-negotiable. Why? Because this is what creates that crucial data pipeline. It's what tells the AI what really happens after someone clicks on one of your ads. But look, this isn't just about shuffling data around. It's much smarter than that. When you import your key events from GA4 into Google Ads, you're creating what's called a single source of truth. And what that does is it gives the AI one single, consistent goal to aim for. It cuts out all the mixed signals and confusion. Okay, to really finish building that strong data foundation, there's one more piece. You've got to link Google Search Console, or GSC. Seriously, think of GSC as your secret weapon. It's your direct line to what people are actually searching for out there in the real world. It'll show you things like, hey, tons of people are searching for this, but your organic ranking is terrible. That's a perfect spot to jump in with paid ads. Or it might show you where you're already crushing it organically, so maybe you can ease off the paid spend and put that money somewhere else. All right, so our data engine is fueled up and humming along. Now, it's time for the fun part, exploring the main plays you can actually run as a strategist. It really all comes down to picking the right tool for the right job. So just think of your campaigns like tools in a toolbox, right? You're not going to use a screwdriver to hammer a nail. It's the same deal here. You've got Performance Max, which is your big gun for getting as many conversions as possible, but you got to avoid that if you don't have any conversion data to start with. Then there's Classic Search, perfect for grabbing people who are already looking for what you offer, and of course, Standard Shopping, which is what you want for really detailed control over your product bids. And this is where it gets super practical, because what you do depends entirely on your business model. Let's take 2 examples. You've got a local tradie, right? All they care about is getting leads for good price, their cost per lead. So for them, search is going to be their best friend. But then you have an e-commerce store. They live and die by a totally different number, return on ad spend, or ROAS. So for them, shopping campaigns are the whole ballgame. Okay, pay close attention here. This next part, this is the real aha moment. This is what separates the amateurs from the pros. We're about to get into understanding what your ads are actually causing to happen in your business. So we have to ask a tough question, and I want you to think about this for your own business. Are your ads just taking credit for sales that were probably going to happen anyway? Or are they genuinely creating new business that wouldn't exist otherwise? You see the difference? Are you just measuring a correlation, or are you actually measuring causation? So here's the key difference, boiled down. Attribution, that's just about assigning credit. It's looking back and saying, okay, this ad gets a piece of the credit, that click gets a piece. But incrementality, that's the real magic. That measures the true causal lift. It answers the one question that really matters. How many of these sales would have vanished if we turned the ads off? That number right there, that's your true incremental value.
So you're probably asking, okay, how on earth do we measure that? Well, you run controlled experiments. The best way to do this is with something called a geo-split. Here's how it works. You basically divide the country into two groups. You've got your test group, say NSW in Queensland, where you run your ads as normal. Then you have your control group, maybe Victoria and WA, where you turn the ads off. And here's the critical part. You don't just look at Google Ads metrics. You measure the difference in your total business sales between the two groups. That difference, that's your causal lift.
All right, let's bring it all home. In this final section, we're going to pull all these ideas together into a concrete, actionable workflow, something you can actually start using like tomorrow. When we talk about budgeting, I'm not just talking about checking your daily spend to see if you're on track for the month. That's basic monitoring. Expert-level budget management is something else entirely. It's about pulling in intelligence from multiple places to see what's coming before it happens. So let's look at the junior, or maybe the reactive view of this. They log into Google Ads. They look at the budget report. The forecast says everything's looking stable and predictable for the month ahead. So what do? Simple. They do nothing. Just maintain the current setting. But the expert, the proactive strategist, sees that same stable forecast and says, hang on a second. They pull in other data. They look at Google Search Console and, whoa, impressions for emergency roof repair are surging 300% because there's a huge storm rolling in. Then they check last year's data in GA4 and see that, hey, during a similar storm, their conversion rates literally doubled. So they put all those pieces together, and what's their action? It's completely different. They proactively crank up the budget to go capture this massive hidden wave of demand.
And that right there, that example is the core takeaway of this entire thing. This multi-source, proactive approach is what separates just monitoring a budget from expert-level strategic management. A true strategist pulls in intelligence from everywhere to make decisions that don't just spend the budget, they use it to actively go out and capture market share.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. A challenge, really. Take a good, hard look at your own process. Ask yourself, are you just monitoring your budget, or are you truly directing it, armed with real market intelligence? Because honestly, the answer to that question is going to define your success from here on out.